Today's show brought to you by imagination. Yes, that thing you lost when you were a child. The foundation of creativity, the ability to dream, and the determination to reach the stars. Imagination. From the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman. Broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM. At Sam Newsman is where you're going to find me. All over social media. We got the TikTok Sam Cam live up and running on Facebook, YouTube, and X as well. Setting the standard and raising the bar the only way a real media puppet knows how to do.
You could accept the fact that this city is headed for a disaster of biblical proportions. It's Old Testament in there. Real wrath of God type stuff. Rivers, seas, oil, human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together. That's terrible.
I show up here every single Saturday morning with just one goal. And that one goal is setting the standard and raising the bar. So I want you all to say that with me right now. I want you to sit there and say that the only thing that I come here with the focus every single Saturday morning is to set the standard and raise the bar. And you ask, well, how do you do that? Well, Sam, it's because you are a real media puppet. I say that because as you go through the rest of the year and years prior, over the last couple of election cycles, hell, it's probably been for several years, probably several decades. Everybody sits there and looks at you and says, oh, well, that's a media puppet. That's a political puppet. And I'm going to tell you right now, I could be offended because there's a bunch of humans being pointed at as puppets, but I'm not. In fact, what I am is doing what I was born to do. Set the standard and raise the bar. The only way a real media puppet knows how to do. Here on the only award-winning radio show dedicated to the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real award-winning media puppet. From the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning. I want to thank everyone, of course, for joining in to the show. It is 12 o'clock. It's noon here on the East Coast, but it is only 9 a.m. on the West Coast. I bring up the West Coast because we have listeners from coast to coast and all around the world. Some countries that come to mind: Japan, Singapore, several countries in Europe, people who are listening and watching all around the world. And so long as the TikTok stream stays viable, people are joining in and are live here and joining in with us on TikTok. We have people also joining with us on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Now, earlier we had the TikTok stream up to about 350 people, and that was going for a while. It was going for a while, but what happened is the signal was shut down and neutered. Just like Instagram earlier this morning, when we showed up here to the station and we started to try to go live, Instagram had restricted our signal. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, restricting our signal on the day where we have a huge announcement. Now, of course, this is how the deep state operates, but this is nothing short of unsurprising. I say unsurprising because I'm not surprised. You say, well, Sam, what are you not surprised about? Well, I'm going to tell you right now that I'm not surprised that we have been banned from live streaming on Instagram. We have been banned live streaming on Instagram. We can no longer live stream on Instagram, at least at the moment. Now, we have no idea why that is. And when we tried to reach out to them at the beginning of the show, now we were here at 9 a.m. Art was doing his thing. We were getting lost into the weekend, right into our show here, award-winning radio show. And what happened is that then we couldn't go live. Now, a lot of times I don't go live on TikTok is because I've been banned on TikTok. Every time I seem to go on TikTok, I get banned. And now it seems, so what has happened is that the Instagram live feature has now banned me, your reliable, most trusted puppet in media, has now been banned from being able to live stream on Instagram. And so, well, you say, well, Sam, what are you going to do now? Well, we're live streaming on TikTok right now, so long as the signal keeps going in and out. Like I said, now I have more followers on TikTok. The reason why the federal government is butthurt about TikTok is because they don't have any back doors. Yeah, they can't bend them over and get any back doors in the way that they want to. That's the only reason why. So I don't want to hear about this because you know what? People are watching and getting things on TikTok. Only the reason why I've never sat there and streamed too many times is because I get banned on TikTok. Get banned on TikTok, get banned on Instagram. And I'm just sitting there wondering, what am I supposed to do? Here I am setting the standard, raising the bar, the only way a real media puppet knows how to do. And then you're going to sit there and tell me, oh, well, by the way, Sam, we're just going to sit there and censor you. Censorship alert. Wah, 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 wah. Censorship alert. Your reliable media puppet has been censored once again. Of course, on a day when I had an amazing announcement that I was going to talk about. And you say, well, Sam, what are you going to talk about? Well, I'm going to tell you why I think I'm being censored right now is because I have it on our agenda today. Now, let me just back this up a few moments. Now, you know that I have been setting the standard, raising the bar, going to conventions since, 2019? The first convention we went to, big convention, was GalaxyCon. Now, we did a couple of the RVA Comic Con. Shout out to Brett. These smaller local comic conventions. But then GalaxyCon came around, and of course, Lou Ferrigno, the Incredible Hulk, he sat there and told me to come on over, give him an interview, and my first celebrity interview was the Incredible Hulk. And I figured at that point, hell, if I can sit there and interview the Incredible Hulk, I can interview anybody. And so you ask, what am I going to do today? Well, first, before I tell you that, make sure you're following me at Sam Newsman. At Sam Newsman all over social media. That is Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, Twitter, Rumble, all over the place. Make sure you're following me there. I do live streams every day. No days off. No days off. What the heck are you talking days off? Oh, I got a day off, so I'm not going to do a show. Oh, it's the weekend. I'm not going to do a show. No, listen, every single day I'm sitting there giving you the media and the stories that you need to hear about. At least the ones that I think that are the most important. Or they just go along with the pentameter of the rhythm. Is that right? Anyways. So you can find me at Sam Newsman all over social media. Every single day doing a news story and a reel talking about the news. And listen, I'm just trying to be a puppet for the people. The people's puppet. The people's puppet of pontification. That's exactly what I want. Now, of course, I see people. I've had a couple of people here trying to join in on the TikTok. I don't have access to being able to do that. Maybe we'll do that in the future if we're not banned. Because we're banned. We're banned right now. Can I say that? Can I say it again? We're banned on Instagram from live streaming. We're banned on Instagram from live streaming. Almost about to hit 5,000 on Instagram, but that's okay. About to hit almost 10,000 on TikTok. I was like, well, hell, you know what? I'm just going to sit there and throw up the TikTok. So as we're moving through and going through this, I just want you to know that the real media censorship is happening to real media puppets. That's right. Real media censorship is happening to real media puppets. I know it seems crazy. And you might be sitting there thinking, well, Sam, I think that you're just being hyperbolic. I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm telling you right now that the real censorship is happening with real media puppets. Why? Because I had in my email that and listen, this only happened recently. I got an email the other day and it said, Sam, guess what? You have been accepted to be a part of the media, the credentialed media for the President Donald J. Trump rally in Richmond, Virginia. What? What? No, seriously. I got an email. It said, hey, listen, you know what? You're credentialed. Just make sure when you show up, you watch out for the trampling crowds because you're small and you're tiny, Sam. You're tiny and you're small. We don't want you to get trampled over, but we want to make sure, that you're able to go to this rally. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, years ago, I started doing comic conventions. I started doing comic conventions, toy conventions, and I've been to all kinds of conventions. I've interviewed celebrities all over. But did you know that that was nothing more than a sports rep? Did you know that was nothing more than reps? Reps in an industry, reps in a field to try to get to the point to where I was supposed to be 4 years ago before they shut everything down and they sat there and told all of you guys to stay in your homes and then you were all going to die. And then a year later, they sat there and they forced a gene therapy on you. And to this day, we have no idea why the young athletes are just dropping dead all over the country and all over the world, to be quite honest. Even pro athletes. We have no idea why that is. I'm probably going to get suspended for this. Why? Listen, I have no dog in the fight. As a real media puppet, all I want to do is just give you the facts. Give you the facts, give you the real straight talk. And the other day, I got an email saying that, hey, Sam, guess what? You can come to the President Trump rally in Richmond, Virginia. I was like, okay, cool. We'll see what happens. Well, you know what I have? Hold on, let's see. Do we have it? Where is it? Okay, we do have it. Hold on, wait a minute. Well, the reason why I say that is because we have this right here. Do you see this? Oh, do you see this right here? This is it. This is from the people at the proper patch. At the proper patch. It's a patch. It is Optimask and Magatron. That's right. Optimask and Magatron. And now you're able to see this here at Sam Newsman on TikTok, at Sam Newsman on Facebook, at Sam Newsman on YouTube and X. But we have Optimask and Magatron. And of course, the real question is, when we go to this Trump rally, the question is not whether or not, if they're going to vote for Trump or not, whether or not they're going to vote for Optimask or Magatron. Because that's really the question. Who are you going to vote for? Optimask or Magatron? Optimask or Magatron? That is the question, and that is what we have here. Optimask and Magatron. Make sure that everybody sees that on the Sam Cam. And you know, all I was really looking forward to, they're just sitting there streaming on Instagram. Listen, we're almost about to hit 5,000 followers on Instagram. And I was going to talk about all that. But you know what happens is I get banned. I get banned as a real media puppet. Can't do anything. And you know what I can't do? This is what makes it so ridiculous. I can't go live on TikTok with people right now because of FCC regulations. I would like to sit there and be like, hey, come on in, let's talk. But I can't do that. Why? Because somebody will get upset, and you know what? Who knows? Man, listen, they're going to go into the endowment fund here at the University of Richmond to pay off the FCC fine. Absolutely ridiculous. So I'm going to be there at the Trump rally. Hopefully, it looks like that the weather is clearing up right now, which is nice. The weather is clearing up. Things are going well in terms of the weather, so it doesn't look like that I'll get soaked. Don't want to get soaked because here, my beautiful felt puppet skin. Don't want that to happen. So, somebody asked, "Are you going to be able to meet President Trump?" No, I don't. I don't know about all that. So I don't want to sit there and cast predictions or anything. I'm not into predictions of what's going to happen. All I'm just telling you right now is that we will be at the President Trump rally at the Richmond Convention Center later this afternoon. So what we need you to do, make sure you're following us on social media. I don't know if we'll be able to go live. Once again, the plan was to go live on Instagram, but of course they've neutered that line of communication, which is of course accurate. Why wouldn't they go ahead and neuter the stream of information that seems to be rolling along with the most people who are joining? I know there's people joining in TikTok land. So can I just shout out to everybody who is on TikTok right now? Shout out to everybody on TikTok. I see you joining as you're joining. This is very nice that you're joining because I'm going to tell you what happens is that the signal keeps dropping in and out. And on Instagram, we've already been banned. Listen, I understand. It might sound that like there's frustration, but anger. It might sound like that there's anger in my voice, aka frustration. And yes, I am very frustrated. Because you know what? I came in this morning and then I went and I got the newspaper and I was like, oh, cool. Look, there's some other things we can talk about. And then I started trying to go live. And guess what? The censorship police were all over the place. Why are they censoring me? Well, because I'm a real media puppet. Because I am the voice of the puppets, the voice of the people, the voice of imagination. And as we sit there and wonder why a media puppet that uses the hashtag all the time in every single post, the hashtags are always the same. Hashtag comedy, hashtag humor, hashtag parody, hashtag satire. I don't understand that if I use each one of those hashtags, why my videos and reports then come under attack. And you wonder why they sit there and they just use these terms, media puppet, political puppet. Is because the real puppet voice continues to be silenced. You might sit there and think, oh, well, you know what? Puppets are just for imagination. Well, yeah, you know what? Your imagination died a long time ago. And you can sit there and blame it on bills. You can blame it on growing up. But we all know the reason why. It's because of Lord Blanket. Lord Blanket just decided to make you think for a moment, you need to just grow up. Maybe he was right. Perhaps he was right. Perhaps there's a reason why Saturday morning cartoons, Saturday morning, the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning was neutered. Don't you tell me that it was because of chemtrails. It has nothing to do with that. And has everything to do with making sure that your imagination is lost and gone. At this point, it probably might be. I'll tell you what's also lost and gone, the ability to live stream. Yep, we're censored. We're censored on Instagram. Censored on Instagram. Usually I don't stream on TikTok because then all of a sudden I'll get flagged for misinformation there. Who knows? I've already done a few live streams this morning. So let's go ahead. Do you want to sit there and say the over and under of how I'm going to get banned on TikTok now? And I've not even said anything other than the fact that Mary Poppins is completely racist. And the H word can't be said. Can't say it. Can't say the H word. The H word, you cannot say it. I'm not going to say it because you know what? We might get flagged. We might get flagged. You know what? Then all of a sudden the FCC is going to come along because you said the H word, Sam. You said the H word. I didn't even realize that it was bad until the British ratings agency said that Mary Poppins was unsuitable for children. Mary Poppins, unsuitable for children. Just let that simmer for a few moments. Another thing I'm going to let simmer for a few moments is the fact that I'm going to play a couple of sitcom themes. I am. I'm going to play a couple of sitcom themes. The reason being is because at this time on a Saturday morning, the sitcoms were already rolling. Your mom and dad had already kicked you outside, told you to go play. If you're of a certain age, you were just probably throwing a tablet or an iPad, a video game, and just said, hey, just stare at the screen. Either way, don't bother me. The adults are awake now. So you know what that means. No more cartoons. You say, well, Sam, Saturday morning is all about cartoons. Yeah, it's not the morning anymore. Your parents had already gotten up. They've kicked you outside. And they've told you that you need to go and use your imagination. Your imagination what? To go outside and pretend that you're going to be some sports athlete that you're not? Hey, well, at least you were getting some kind of exercise. You're of a certain age. A bunch of other people, they're just, who knows what they are. I'll tell you what I am. Here I am, setting the standard and raising the bar. At Sam Newsman, all over social media is where you're going to find me. At Sam Newsman. Like I said, we're going to be there tonight at the Trump rally. Doors open up at 3 o'clock. Trump's supposed to be there at 6. Probably won't show up till 7 or 8. What's the over-under? He's not going to show up till 7 or 8? Who says 7? 7? You think 8? Let's probably take some bets on that. Probably take some bets on that and see what happens. I don't know who's going to get it. I think that Magatron will probably get more votes than Optimask. What do you think? I think Magatron will get more votes than Optimask. I do. I really do. Make sure you're following me at Sam Newsman all over social media. Download the Live 365 app. Search WDCE. You'll be able to listen to the show through that app. Once again, WDCE.org. You can go just right there. You can just listen to the live stream. It's the only way you can hear the cartoon themes and the themes in between my video segments that I do here, which you'll see in a few moments because I'm going to come back because we're going to figure out what we learned today. And I'm going to give a shout out to, of course, the Richmond Spiders because they have a game tonight. And you know what? I had a whole segment planned for all that. And then all of a sudden, all the social media stuff happened. And I get banned and I can't sit there and do anything on Instagram. And I know it's rough. I know it's rough. It's hard work being a real media puppet. I'm going to tell you that right now. Yeah. So, but hey, listen, make sure you're listening to the radio streams. You're going to sing along with these songs as well. They're sitcom jams, and we'll be back on the other side here on the only award-winning radio show dedicated to the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real award-winning media puppet from the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell. I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning.